Hello everyone, this is the pre-market trade of the day, and as every day, first we look back to yesterday's trade setup. And yesterday I showed you the Swiss yen in my pre-market video, and again we made today very nice profit and we entered on the pip. My yesterday's entry spots were perfect. If you check back the video from yesterday, you will see that all worked nicely. And this is how you can trade with the order blocks and Metagrid and trend lines. And with this video I make every day with a trade setup, you can see that these trade calls made before all happens. The most people on YouTube show you after all happened and make nice backtestings and show you that all is fine and working. And in backtesting, of course, the most systems are work, but I make the videos on the start of every day, and then you can check if the setups work or not. And of course, we will have losers too. This is normal, but we want more winners than losers, and this week all the setups were were winners so far. Losers would not be good. All were winners so far. And let's check the Swiss yen. This is our setup, and you can see there is still a trade running. This is my last portion of the trade. I closed the 90% and the open 10% now I let run. Yesterday I showed you this nice trend line which painted by Metagrid on the chart, and I told you in this every day the same process I do. We have here the cross of the trend line with this order block line in this free order block line. So we have three red lines, three sell lines. This is a very nice sell zone, and we have here the cross of the strong trend line on the H1 time frame with this order block. And I told you yesterday in the video, if the price comes here and we see price action on the H1 time frame or on the M15 time frame, we can jump in. And we had here price action. The price began to go down here on exactly on this point, and you can see I jumped in here. If I make it a little bit bigger, you can see here was my entry position. And then I closed 90% of my trade around here because the price approached the opposite direction. So this is our buy level here. It was retested here, or it was first tested here, and this was a retest. So as I saw that here we get a rejection of this buy level again, I closed 90%. And if you look here on the trading history of this day, you can see this was here the trade I closed here. This was the first part of my trade, and I let one micro. Sorry, my mic was out for a second. I let one micro lot open on this trade here, and this is the trade which is still running now, and I made it risk-free. You can see I put it here my break-even stop loss, and now I let the trade run. We see here with the two trend lines a descending triangle, and very often what you see is that price then begins to bounce in such a descending triangle, and it gets closer and closer, and very often then we see a fake breakout in the one or the other direction, and then price begins after the fake out to go in the correct direction. So what we maybe can see, that price overnight in the Asian night gets closer and closer in this triangle. Then we get maybe a fake breakout in this direction, and then it goes really down, or we see a fake breakout in this direction and then it goes strong up. This is possible. It happens not always, but very often we see this in a descending triangle like here. So what I hope, of course, is that price makes here this breakout in this direction, and then I would close it here. I let it run. It's risk-free, this last portion, if it hits the break-even stop loss, so I lose nothing here. I had locked my profit in. I like this to let one little trade open and let it run some hours or even days more. Then you can collect with such a little lot size again pips and profit. So I wait what happens the next hours, if it goes up or down. I hope, of course, it goes further down. You see it bounced here, then it bounced again here on the trend line, and now at the moment it goes further down, and we will see how this ends. So the main trade was from here to here, and this was 16 pips, and I will make a list with all the trades and pips over the weekend, that we can see how many pips we collected with all the trades, and we have to wait until this trade is over. At the moment it is, let's see, at the moment we have almost 20 pips with this last open trade here from this pair. So this was the yesterday's pre-market trade of the day, and we had put it here below, as I remember, pending buy order. It has not triggered, as you can imagine. Price came not down here, and I will delete it now on my chart. I have the pending buy order on my server. Other server, I have more accounts running, and yeah, I will delete it now, and then we look to a new pair. But today was a very, very great trading day. I had only these two break-even trades here on these two pairs. I had a little scalping trade on the dollar CAD here, and if we look on my other accounts, here on this account you can see today a really nice result on these trades. These trades were all taken by the auto trader from Metagrid, and had this big profit here from the auto trader on the pound yen. Very nice trade here. Let's see, it was this here. You can see price came down, the auto trader opened here the trade exactly on the bounce of the bank buy level, and we had also this nice buy area here with these two order lines, and you can see here was the open of the trade, minimal drawdown here, and then it shooted here up. Very nice trade, and at the moment the auto trader wants to trade here. It put it here a pending sell entry, and waits now if this order triggers in. And then we had here a trade, this was from 2 days ago, and this from the last day. So this was today here, this big winner with the EA. So a very nice trading day. And now we come to my pre-market trade of the day, and in this case it's the US dollar against the Turkish currency, exotic pair today. As you can see, we have here our two trend lines automatically painted by Metagrid, the grid manager here, our trade manager, which also paints our order blocks here. And it's not a very nice trend line, but I like the lower trend line very much here. The upper trend line, as you can see, was broken here by this big up move. Then it was retested here. Then it was again retested here. Then it had this big move up, was rejected, and it's now again on its way down. But overall, I would say this currency is here on this time frame on an uptrend, and I want to buy this currency. As always, we look for an area where we have a strong order zone with our order lines, and where we have a cross of our trend line. And you can see the lower trend line crosses here in this area our strong order zone. We have here the green line and the light green line very close together, so both kind of order blocks are very close together, and we like this. So I would look here in this area if price comes down in the Asia session or at morning, for example, down here in this area, and we see price action, then we would jump in a buy trade. I would not place here a pending order, but if we see price action on the lower time frame, for this we use the M15 for example. If we see on the M15 a pin bar or a strong green candle, or if we see here on the H1 time frame in this area price action which gives us a confirmation for a buy, then we would jump in here in a buy trade. A pending order I want to place here in this area. You can see if I make the chart bigger, we have again here the light green color and the strong green color very close together, and we are below the market structure here. You can see this was the last low of the last days, and this was a lower low here, but this is a very nice market structure here, and we are below the bank's buy level here. So if price comes until here, normally we would should see a reversal here. So I want to place here my pending buy order. I place it as always a little bit higher as our zone, so here. And for the lot size, 5 micro lots is okay for this exotic currency. Where do we put our stop loss? Normally a good place, of course, is here around the next low, but it's very far away for this exotic currency. If we use this stop loss, we must definitely reduce our lot size here. And I think I will do this. We only use 3 micro lots, and I use this last low, and it's in this case 3037 ticks. So let's use this. I round it to 3035 here for the stop loss. I want no positive grid, I want no negative grid for this trade. We save this, so the stop loss would be placed here if the order is opened. A trailer we can use as target. I would use around this area here. If it triggers here in, we have here a resistance area. So this is a nice target we can set, and for this I would place the trailer to start around here. 1700 is our trailer start, and it should trail behind, let's see, around 555 ticks, and we can save this, and then we are good with this trade. And what I forgot to tell you, you see this white rectangle here. I activated the Hypnotic supply and demand software, which I like very much, to combine with the order levels from Hypnotic, and it paints the supply and demand levels. And we have here on this area a demand level. As you can see, this box tells us here is demand. Here from the view of the supply and demand traders, we have here demand that buyers want to go in, and it's confirmed by our order blocks here, and this is additional confirmation that I want to see here price action to jump in a trade. But remember, no pending order here. We want to see price action to jump in this trade. Here a pending order is good in my opinion, because it's a nice place for a pending. And now we look for a sell opportunity too, and for this I open this currency a second time, that we can use different settings on Metagrid. So I open it a second time, this currency, and if we use it a second time, we don't use the auto trader, we trade manually, then we go to the expert advisor settings and we change the magic number to a higher number, that we have 2 different magic numbers, that Metagrid can handle both currencies. They are the same, and we only have to do this if we have the same currency opened more than one time, and if we trade by ourselves and not by our EA. So let's see if we find a sell opportunity. Of course, this is a nice area here, and I would normally place here a sell order. You can see we are on the bank sell level, which tells us here we can expect a possible reversal here. and we have a very strong sell area too with these 3 lines and the light colored one in it. What I don't like is that we had this up move here and it was rejected short before the sell area, and I don't trust this sell area that much anymore. Of course, if you want, you can try it here, but I want to go a little bit higher with our sell order. Often the exotic currencies have bigger moves, and I like this area here. You can see from the Hypnotic software we have painted a supply area here. This white rectangle is a supply area where sellers should come in, and we have up on this supply area and below the supply area our 2 order blocks, the strong one here and again a normal one here. So I want to make a grid between these 2 lines, that we have a grid in this supply zone. For this I place here my limit sell order on this pair, and I make it here, and then we make a grid here with say 3 additional trades. I would open the initial trade with 1 micro lot. This is the yellow line, and I would open additional with 2 micro lots in our grid. And let's see what grid we use. We have here a distance between these 2 lines of 1660. And I want 3 negative grids. Negative grids are the grids when the price goes against us. I don't want a positive grid in this way, so we only need here the grid size. We want 3 additional scale-ins if price goes against us, and we had 1660, and I use my calculator to divide this by 3. So the distance between every line should around be 550. We save this, and let's check on the preview button if this is good. Yes, you can see with the preview button we see how our grid would be opened if the trade triggers. You can see this is our initial trade with 1 micro lot, and we would scale in here, here, and here with 2 micro lots in a sell position. So we hope that price comes in this zone and then goes down, and then we can make here hopefully profit. Where is our target for this trade? I would place the target around this bank sell level here, and of course we need a stop loss, and the stop loss I would place a little bit higher than here, so 2800 is good. Let's put it here, and let's see the take profit. I would round about here, this area here, if it retests the bank level, so 1400 is okay, and I would use no trailer in this case. I would manage it by myself if it triggers in, and if I see that the trade gives a big reaction here, maybe I would close again 90% of this trade and let 1 unit run further down here if we get such a trade. We will see. So this is our sell entry for this currency. Again, we have here our pending buy entry. We look here for price action if we can find here maybe a buy entry during the Asia session or in early morning. And we have our sell entry with a pending entry here in a little grid in this supply area, and with between these 2 sell order blocks here. And then we will see how this performs. The result of this trade of the day we will get then during early Monday or Sunday night, and I make the next video for the Monday. And until then, goodbye, have a nice weekend, bye bye.